Hello everybody, welcome back to a training of the Modicon M172 Secure Interface. I'm your host, Leandro Mada, and in this video what we're going to see is how we can configure the M172 Secure Interface to communicate to the EcoStruxure Secure Connect. So let's go to the presentation. So, as I explained in the previous video, the importance of having the EcoStruxure Secure Connect with the M172 is to have a secure connection to site from the office. It's like having a VPN. So the first thing that we need is to access to the M172 Secure Interface and make the configuration on the web server. There is no need to change something on the software EcoStruxure Machine Expert HVAC. We just need to access to the web server and make modifications. So I'll explain in another video how to make the first connection to the M172 Secure Interface. We have two options. We have the possibility to use the Ethernet port, or we can use the mini USB. I recommend to use the mini USB for the first connection. It has this IP address. Okay, then it has the username admin in lowercase, and then it has SE_ secure interface, as you can see over here, SE in capital, S in capital, and I in capital. Then the software will ask you to change the IP address, to change the password. So that part is very easy. The other thing that you need to use when you connect the mini USB is to change the port settings in your PC in order to make the changes. Okay, but I have already explained that in the previous video. So let's go for this. Once we enter into the web server of the M172, what we need to do is to access to the network settings, and in the network settings we need to configure the IP address, the subnet mask, the default gateway, and the DNS. So the easiest way to configure this device is to use DHCP, and then the server can provide all the settings for our Ethernet port. That will make the life easier in case we don't know something. So let's try to connect to the M172 up here. So 192.168.1.51, and you are not seeing the screen. There we go. So I'm connected to this device. Okay, it's been a long time that I didn't pour it up, but let's see. So we need to proceed this authorize thing. I have already changed the IP address. Okay, I'm not using the mini USB in this case, and I directly connected to this one. So admin, and I have already changed this to administrator 1. Okay, so I have connection to a device to the web server. I'm in the same network. Okay, and I'm using right now the Secure Connect. Okay, everything in the same network. So what we need to do is to change this part. Okay, and if you're using the fixed IP address, then it's important to use the DNS. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay, so if you don't know this part, probably the best is to use the DHCP or check on the router that you have, which is the DNS that you're using. So I'm going to use DHCP. So in this case, I'm going to apply. As soon as you get this apply, you should be able to see a pop-up message. Okay, so we have a DHCP enabled. Then this page is no longer working because it will assign my router in my home. It will assign a different configuration. So I can close this. Okay, close it. Now what I'm going to do is to open my router and see which is the device. Otherwise, I should not be able to access. All the other thing that we can do is to access to the mini USB and continue the configuration. So I can try to do that. Just bear with me a second. Okay, I have connected the M172 Secure Interface through USB cable. So I just want to double check something. It's a little bit slow, my PC today. So patient. So here is the port that is going to be enabled as soon as you put the USB. I already changed the name, but it has something different. And here in the properties, I already changed the take time to enable this. You just need to change the IP address for that specific port to be in the same network, okay, that it has 192.168.254. Whatever you want. Okay, properties, cybersecurity things, just take some time, but it will try to connect. So let me just check. So if everything is fine, should be able to ping this 192.168.254.254, and it's pinging. I having some complications to see these properties, but trust me, I have already put this in a different IP config. As you can see here, the name, this one, I have changed this to nothing to 100. Okay, so that will give me the possibility to connect to the M172 secure interface. So 192.168.254.254. Yes, advance, proceed. Going to check on the other side of my server. So it's going to be admin. As you can see, I already access using the USB. There we go again. If you go back to the network setting, the DHCP is selected, and this part is not able to do anything at all because I had already selected the DHCP. Okay, so that's fine. Then the other thing that we need to do is to select here the VPN connection. So I'm going to uncheck this. VPN connection, select this part, and use the domain token. I'm going to delete this, and then I'm going to show you everything on this side. Just bear with me. I was checking which is the IP address on my router. So this is gonna be, okay, 140. So CMD ping 192.168.1.140. There we go. So that's the IP address, the new IP address that I have for the M172 secure interface. So this part is already done. So using the DHCP is going to be the easiest thing in order to configure this. But then I'm going to show you what you need to do in case you don't want to. So now it's time to access to the gate manager. So I'm going to access to the gate manager on my other side. Okay, I access to the gate manager. So this one is the gate manager. I have already another M172 already connected. Okay, but now I'm going to show you how to connect another one. So the first thing is to create your folders or domains where the HMI is going to be located. So for example, the M172 is going to be located. So you can use, for example, site A, site B, or the name of the end user, and then you should be able to add the folder. This folder, as soon as you create it, you will have this, the domain token. This domain token is the one you need to use in order to access from the secure interface to the secure connect gate manager. So we just need to use this information. I'm going to copy and add it into the here. Paste it. Then we just need to remove this empty space and then apply. The other thing is this one. we just need to check which is the gate manager that we were provided. So in my case, it's this one for you. And if you don't know how to check that out, it's over here in the top when you have access. So there is another video how to access to the gate manager before. You will receive an email. With the email, you should be able to access to this part, and then you should be able to access and do all the things. But that I already explained that before in another video for the secure connect using the HMIs. So as soon as we have this information, we just need to add this information into our VPN secure connect. So if we go back, PLC secure VPN and this part, and then we just apply. VPN connection updating, and hopefully if everything is well, we should be able to see a device in the game manager. Okay, so we can refresh, and if it doesn't show up, one of the things that we can do is to power cycle. Okay, so let's power cycle this video. Bear with me. Okay, I already power cycle the unit. Okay, I have removed the USB cable just in case. And let's ping this once again and see if it's alive or not. That's my PC. Just wait for it to boot up. Is power on? Yes. There we go. It's back. So now there we go. We have the site manager. This is the name of the device, and this is the new M172 that I have already connected here. Okay, you saw that probably the best is to power cycle it. So let's go back to this thing. So this part is very easy, straightforward, nothing complicated at all. Now you should be able to see like this site manager, and between brackets you should be able to see this. Now as soon as you have it, okay, it's not enough. You just need to add a license, and you have different license, basic and extended by license, and depending on the license that you have different features. So the basic will allow you to have 2 agents, and the extended will allow you to have 5 agents. Okay, I already explained that before in the previous video, Secure Connect, so take a look on that one. So I would always recommend to have the extended because it allows you to have different features that the basic do not have. And probably having 2 agents is not good enough because you just had one for the specific gateway, and you just have another one for one specific device, and that's it. The extended probably is gonna be much better, but that would depend on you, what you want. So to go back here, depending on the license that you have in your profile, in your system, you should be able to access and go here and select what you want. In my case, I have different licenses. They are not mine, they're from my colleagues. And then you can select one, bin, bind, license, and attach here. And then you should be able to proceed and make the connections. So I'm not going to do that, okay? But that should be the steps that you need to do. Now, how we can connect, how we can do the things. Hold on a second. So this is one thing to do. Now, if we want to change the name of the device, so to have something more better, that site manager, okay? So for example, lab or a company Mx.x or something, we just need to access to the site manager. And in the site manager, we need to access to the gate manager. And the gate manager, we should have this appliance name. This is the appliance name that we need to change. So let's go back and change this. So site manager, I don't have the license attached. So site manager. It will take some time. Okay. Okay, there we go. So there is no agents because I don't have the license. Fix. Here we can need, for example, my lab. We just need to use save. And then here it says reconnect. And then hopefully it will change the name. So if we go back, it has my lab and it changed the name to something more easy to understand what it is. Okay, so this is how you can do this part. Now, I'm not going to use that one, okay? I'm just going to use the one I already configured with the license. But before doing that, what happens if I don't want to use the ACP? That's something that happened to me. I didn't know what to do. So, if you don't want to use the ACP, it's important to know the configuration of your device. So, 192.168.1.140, which is the one that my router has assigned. Advance, proceed. So, if you don't want to do that, it is important that you complete all the fields that we have on the Ethernet part in order to make the connection. Otherwise, it will not work. So, administrator 1*x. So, network settings. Here in Ethernet, we uncheck the HCP. We're going to assign 192.168.1.52. Hopefully there is no other device with the 52. Let's check this out. Ping 192.168.1.52. No other device, which is good. Sorry. 255.255.255.0. 192.168.1.1. Now, I tried this before without reading anything, and it didn't work. So you can see here they have the check mark. The check mark, it means that okay, it's working fine. You have the connection. Without configuring this part, okay, you just see the cross because it's not have any connection. So here you can see over here the device IP address 192.168.140, which is the one that I have right now. The idea is to change this one. So here I changed the IP address, but you also need to add the DNS. The DNS is something that you need to find in your router provider, or there is a few things that you can do in your PC. So in my case, it's going to be 192.168.1.2.0.2.8. I have one internet provider and an access to the router, which is this part, and access to the DNS to see the information. So then I apply this. If you don't complete all this part, it will not work, okay? So let's ping this now. Okay, it seems to change that, which is good. We need to accept this, proceed, and it's redirecting to the new IP address, which is fine. It works. Administrator 1. Network settings. This one is correct. This one. So let's check now over here. It's still connection. I have the new IP address. So now it's fixed. Okay. So the easiest one is to use the ACP. But it's not mandatory. You can use the fix, but you need to complete all those fields. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is to show you this example, how it really works. Now everything is configured. Now we should be able to connect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this one that I have already connected with the license. Okay, I'm going to connect that to my router via Ethernet. I'm going to disconnect my PC from the network that I have and use my mobile in order to give Ethernet access. Okay, so hopefully this will work and simulate in a different site. So just hold on a second. Okay, so right now, what I'm going to do, whoops, not that, this one. So right now what I'm going to do is to connect to this device 192.168.1.51 ping 192.168.1.51. It should be the new PLC, the new secure interface. Just give it a couple of seconds to boot up. I connected. Yeah, there we go. So this is the new PLC, and let's check on the website. Okay, so this one is already in, you can see, and I have the license, the extended, which is fine. Okay, and I'm going to connect because it's going to be a lie, because in the same network there is no point at all. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to leave this. I'm going to change the network. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect from this network, and hopefully everything's going to be fine. So disconnect from the network. Just bear with me a second. So right now I have disconnected from the network. Time out. I don't have any kind of connection with the network at all. Now I need to give Ethernet. So I'm going to connect to Ethernet. So I have this, which is my mobile. It's connected. So I'm going to remove all this, and I will probably need to access once again. It's very slow, so be patient. But just to show you that I'm no longer in that network anymore. Okay. So just take some time. I don't know why it's too slow, the mobile, but yeah. Just let's pause it and wait for it to finish to load. Okay, seems to be loading. It's doing something. Of course, this will depend on your internet connection. In my side, it isn't that great using with a mobile. I'm going to say the provider of the Ethernet access, but it's not the best one, I believe, for this. Just wait for it, or maybe it's my location here. Going to log in. You can see still no communication at all with that device. I'm not lying to you, I don't have the connection with it. So you can see that I'm not lying to you. Now it's accessing to this. Slowly. Of course, if you're in the office with a real provider of Ethernet, you should be able to do it much faster than me. I'm gonna pause it. There we go. I'm already connected now. So you can see here, this is my M172 that I want to connect. Okay, here, this is the IP address. I'm not able to ping anymore. So now what I'm going to do is to connect all. The link manager, which is this one, should be on. It's detecting, then it's ready. So without the link manager, it will not work. So now it's trying to connect all. It's ready. Connecting, and there we go. I have the connection. Now, hopefully, now I should be able to ping it as if by magic. So right now I have the connection to the secure interface, okay, remotely. Now, if I'm using the software, okay, this is the software. I'm going to try to connect. Setup, properties, this is the IP address, yes. Connect. As you can see, I connected. Then this is going to take some time, but due to my internet connection that I have on my mobile, is uploading the thing, which is good because I don't have any other connection, just the M1, the secure interface. You can see here all the packages, which is fine. It's working fine. It's reading information, uploading progress, just give it time. But the idea is to show you that I'm able to connect remotely to any site if you have an internet provider to the M172. As you can see, it's very straightforward. You just need the guidance and all the tips and tricks. But right now, you see I'm connected, different code, doesn't matter, but I should be able to download this. Yes. And then I should be able to have async next to it. Now it's going to take some time because I need to download all these things. But I believe you get the idea that we just need to use the secure interface in order to connect to all the devices. By default, you have this full access, which is the full access to that particular device. Then on the site manager, you just need to configure the other agents that you're going to use in order to connect. If you want web pages, if you want to connect to one particular PLC brand or device for a different brand, you have all that. I have already explained that in a different video. Okay, this is going to take some time. Again, it is important that you have a very good internet connection in order to make all this. And then you can see source okay. Yes, source okay, connected. Now if I disconnect, okay, I'm still connected to it. Now I'm going to disconnect. Says request timeout because I don't have the connection anymore. And if I try to connect, it will not work. Which just makes sense. So go back, connect all. There we go. I'm back here. So let's double check if it's missing something. So configure the internet port, it's done. Configure the VPN settings, done. This is like a little bit of steps. Access the game manager to see M172. Change the name of the device, done. Use different connection to access to the game manager. That is what I show you, and connect to the M172SI. So this is all for the connection to the M172 secure interface. Let me just make some modifications here on my network. Okay, let's go. So as you can see, it's very straightforward. It's very easy. I have already changed back to my previous network so I can control all the images and transitions. But the key here is to configure all the IP settings that you have. So 192.168.1.51 in my case. Connections work again. Admin, administrator on, I believe, there we go. Network settings, configure all this, otherwise it will not connect. If you don't know this, just DHCP. It's going to be very straightforward. Here, the secure connect, you just need to have this part and this, the keys from this part over here, and then on the folder you have created the domain token without any space. If this doesn't work, you can also add root dot, ROOT dot, the icon dot, and then you should be able to access again to this. So this is how we can use this, there we go, secure interface as a gateway to have a secure connection remotely to site from the office in an easy way, as I show you. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you in the next one.